they pay for your like registration, your flights, and your hotel. That's a $10,000 investment every year already. That's why it's very hard to get sponsored in FGC in general, because what do you have to offer? Like, what do you do? Like, do you stream? What else do you do? You just play? Like, you know, like you gotta be something. You gotta have like a following at least. So that's why it's very hard for people to get sponsored. But I always get asked that question, like, how do I get sponsored? It's like, dude, you gotta work harder than just playing games. Like, there's more stuff into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, VXG is a perfect example. You know, a lot of people say that, you know, they're competing with EVO. No, they're just doing their own thing. But you know what they're doing to the MK players? The first 200 people that signed up are getting a dinner, and it's going to be a recreation of the scene with Kari Tagawa in full get-up Shang Tsung costume. It's going to host the dinner as Shang Tsung, and they're going to recreate that Sub-Zero scene with Tom Brady as Sub-Zero. You're going to get a dinner, you know. It's stuff like that, you know, which is what they need to bring to the table. You know, give me something. You know.
I would be a pot monster if I go to let's say, or to play Mortal Kombat. Okay, I'll be a pot monster. Okay, but I will pay for it to go, so I could just experience something like that. Do you understand? Like, if I was a casual player, it's like, oh, you know what, shit, that's gonna be tight. I'm a big fan of Mortal Kombat. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna pay for that, just to experience that. See,
yeah,
like,
because it's something you're not going to get. You're not going to get that every tournament you go to. So yeah, why not?
I agree.
You know, but a lot of these other tournaments out there, and I'm not, you know, and like I said, I'm not trying to come down on them. I'm just telling them they got to open their eyes and realize that, you know, the majority of, like you said, the majority of these players are college kids, or, you know, we'll say between 18 and 30. And they ain't got a lot of money to piss away. You know, I've said it before. I've said, you know, I've seen guys sharing a fucking piece of pizza and 13 guys sleeping in a room, and I'm going, that's because they can't afford it.
Whoa, sharing pizza? Yeah. What is this? Some fucking, what the fuck is that movie? I can't remember the fucking name of the movie, man.
Whatever it is, it's called Poor Man in the FGC. That's the name of the movie. You know, there's a lot of poor people in the FGC. And when I say poor, I mean, they're young kids. You know, and they don't have the money. It's whatever money daddy and mommy give them for an allowance. You know, it's kind of like, you know, with the game industry itself. One of the reasons a lot of these game companies are kind of fucking up, including Capcom, is they still think it's the 90s. And, you know, the days of putting out crap games and getting away with it are gone. That's why you see companies like THQ, Acclaim, you know, all these companies going under, because if you release, you know, 15 games a year and 14 of them are crap, these kids don't have $60 a shot just to go out and keep buying crappy games. You know, and what are you going to do with it? Bring it back to GameStop and trade it in for $8? You know, if you even get that.
Yeah. And that's store credit only.
In store, exactly, in store credit only. You know, and the only way you find out it's shit is either through the internet or trial and error. You know, and it's like, you know, they what has happened now, and it's, you know, it happened to Midway. You know, Midway released a lot of crap. You know, Capcom, I don't know what happened to Ghosts and Goblins and fucking Commando, and, you know, all the games in Mega Man that was actually fun to play. You know, they focused so much on Marvel and Street Fighter, they kind of lost their way as a company and just kind of said, I mean, Resident Evil 6 was ass from what everybody was telling me. You know,
yeah, it was that.
You know, so I mean, that's why it's like they got to focus on their core. And even with Street Fighter, you know, one of the things, and I was saying this earlier, one of the things I noticed is a lot of the Capcom guys be like, oh, well, Mortal Kombat had 1 million patches. Yeah, but at least we got them for free, and we didn't rename the game. You know, Capcom, what they do is they call it, you know, they go from Street Fighter 4 to Arcade Edition, make you actually pay for it, and all it is a patch with some updated data.
That was a quick 20. That's a quick 20, dude.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and people are not stupid no more. You know, now they're starting to say, that's why, like, you know, with Injustice, I think they took the time to say, look, you know, and they've asked the fans in all the communities, and that's the one thing about the testers that was good. They didn't turn around and dick ride the MK community and say, let me get the top 10 MK plays and have them test. They went out and got Nerd Josh. They went out and got our Toro. They went out and got Chris G. You know, they took a large array of players from the fighting game community to try and put this together. And they even said, like, well, you know, they've asked out, what would you pay for a patch or you know, for a DLC, and what would you want in it? You know, Capcom kind of just goes, yeah, this is $20, and we're gonna make Cammy fucked up, and we're gonna make fucking Vega ass, and basically deal with it. You know, they don't. I don't think they listen to you guys as much as they should. Is what it comes down to, and it's just a repeat of the same thing over and over. I'm waiting for Street Fighter V. When the fuck's that gonna happen? You know, they got another patch coming. I'll get into. I actually played Street Fighter for the first time in like, I don't know, since Alpha. You know, the other week when Daigo was in New York. You know, and I gotta say, I like the game. You know, but I don't spend enough time. I mean, some guy freaking, you know, I told the guy I ain't played the game in 20 years. Who does he get? He picks fucking Cammy and blows the fuck out of me. You know, and I had no answer. I used fucking Honda. But I am a fucking Dalsim user.
Yo,
Hey,
Ryan.
James, let me
Yeah.
ask you something. Do you play Injustice?
Yeah, I just started.
What character do you play?
Aquaman.
Oh, you fucking cheap.
Oh, you tier whore.
Aquaman is so cheap, dude.
Wait.
Like, why does he get a break every 10 seconds?
Because, see, Aquaman's old like me and he looks like me. Therefore, I had to use him. That's the only reason.
Aquaman doesn't look like you, dude.
I asked the chat, does Aquaman look like me? That's the only reason I picked him, is everybody said he looks like me. So I was like, all right, I'm going to use him. That was the only reason I used him. I was actually thinking of going with Ares as well. And, you know, that Mr. Aquaman actually this week made Ares look pretty damn good, so.
Yeah.
You know, but I won't pick any of the bad guys. Ares is not bad, he's just misunderstood. But, I mean, it's you know, I see right now, it looks like a lot of people are dick riding on Deathstroke. Obviously,
Yeah.
because they can't figure out how to get around the guns. But, you know, everybody else is pretty much riding on Batman, it looks like, and Green Lantern. But I'm assuming you're going to be Sinestro.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I really like Sinestro, but he sucks, dude. He sucks, man. Like, they nerfed him so bad at day one patch. Holy shit. That fool doesn't have any strings up close. I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? If someone just comes in, I'm dead. If someone actually knocks me down, I just gotta pray. Like, whatever.
Right?
So who do you think your top three are going to be?
The top 3 characters that
So
I will play? I only
you're
want to
gonna
play. I want to play Sinestro only. I mean, I may play Raven, but yeah, I think that's it. Like Raven or Sinestro.
Raven's good.
Yeah, the thing is with this is what sucks. Okay, in NorCal regionals, there's no injustice, so people in NorCal don't play, right? Because imagine like NorCal regionals is this weekend. But if there was actually Injustice, some people would be practicing Injustice or picking it up. Oh shit, it's the first major in NorCal. I might have a chance to get top 8 at the very least, you know? But no, they don't do that. So it's not there. I can't really blame because the resources of NorCal regionals. There's a lot of games already. So I'm sure.
It's not gonna be on NorCal.
No, there's no Injustice in NorCal regionals. That's why no one plays. That's why I've been begging for people to play Injustice.
Well, I got a guy right now that's in the chat, Joseph Odonia, and the guy Derptile, who always tells me to ask everybody their favorite animals. They're actually setting up an Injustice tournament in NorCal tomorrow. And they actually hit you up on Twitter. They actually mentioned you in Twitter. So, I mean, there are people up there that are going to start playing. I have a feeling it's going to pick up over there as well.
I want to pick up. I want to pick up. You know, actually, majority of the people in the MK world, like as far as the top players, they understood what I did. Like CD Junior, you know, when I said something, and Carl, Perfect Legend, I said something.
they knew what I was trying to do because they actually knew me, you know.
Yeah.
But dude, I got so much hate mail from your community. It's fucking crazy. Yo, champ, if I see him, I'll fucking kill you. But it's like, where's that? I want to go there.
Do you know how many people? Do you know how many people asked me like, "Yo, man, I want to put a hit out on him. Can you take care of it?" And I'm like, "Whoa." I said, "Take it easy."
I was like, "Oh wow, it's very cool how like you can move an audience regardless if it's a negative way or a positive way." I'll always look at it like it's a good thing. But it's just crazy how like they were so I understand because they love the game, they love their community, and I understand that. And there's someone who just walks in there like, yo, fuck your community, I'm about to body all you guys. You know, of course I would hate him too, but shit, they just don't understand.
You know what they do? I mean, look, when I first put for MLG Columbus, when I put the $500 bounty out on PL, you know, the hate that I received was, you know, who is this old motherfucker, this leather-faced fucking jelly belly motherfucker? And I'm like, you know what, you guys can call me every name in the book. It ain't going to stop me.
I thought you remember the Mafia.
Well, that's, you know, I don't talk about stuff like that. You know, but
that is true.
You know, I mean, when I did the Cantaloupe videos, you know, all that shit that I've done, you know, it's to bring entertainment. Is it WWE? Is it bullshit? No. Is it hype? Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing. It's not to be mean and malicious. You know, I mean, when I brought the cantaloupes out of Paulo and Hector, and I made a little lemon of you, you know.
Oh, I love that. That was good. I was like, ooh, that was hype. He crushed me.
You know, but then I was like,
are you gonna just let him? Yeah, go ahead.
You know, but then I wasn't like, oh my God, if I see this Filipino champ, I'm gonna fucking smash his skull into the street. The only one that has to worry about that is Ski Sonic. You know, he's the only one that I can't stomach. Believe it or not, even Mr. McRib, freaking Mr. Wizard is safe with me. You know, it's the fact that, you know, like I said, there's a condescension that comes from a lot of the people in the community that can't separate hype from fucking bullshit. That ride on this so hard as if it was their end-all job forever, that they're going to do this forever somehow, that they're just going to be top players pulling in millions of dollars. You know, and it's those type of people and the egos. If you're, you know, and like I said, you know, I was tweeting with Marn. I asked Marn to come on the show one day, and he turns around and he makes a wise-ass comment to me and says, "What, so you can get more views?" You know, and at that point I realized he's a fucking asshole. And then just recently he was bickering with CD Jr., and I said, you know, my offer stands to come on the show, and he goes, well, I don't go on a low production show. And then he wonders why I call him a fat fuck. You know, I'm telling her, and I could tell the whole world out there, Marn, you get 3 strikes. On the 3rd time of being a serious dick to me, it ain't gonna be talking.
Oh shit!
You know, and just remember,
barbecue,
son,
Marn?
the motherfucker couldn't run 5 squares in a conference room against fucking Justin Wong. So your fat ass ain't getting away from me.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny because, like I said, originally, you know, even like when I reached out to you, I mean, after I did my little blow-up thing, I didn't come up to you like, yo, motherfucker, you better come on. I'm pretty cordial about it, you know, and that was the part of it that I didn't understand with him. It's like, it's almost like, I think maybe as a child he was abused, and now he's got a trust issue or some shit like that, because it's like he thinks I'm after something, as if I'm like, he's got something that I don't have. I got a wife, I got a house, I got fucking money, so what can I take from you? You know, I just wanted to get him on the show so people could listen to him. But rather than that, he had to take the holier than thou attitude. And, you know, I'm actually glad you came on. Like I said, I knew you would eventually, but I know you do your thing on the same night. You know, but he's definitely.
I wanted to come, dude.
You know,
I wanted to come.
He's definitely, you know, he's definitely one of my new least favorite even though he's not part of the FGC. And he doesn't even play LOL, does he? He's just like the manager or some shit.
He tried playing at one point.
I mean, I always wanted to come to your show, dude. Like, I always wanted to. It's just like, dude, like your show is just the same exact night as my tournaments that I do weeklies for NorCal. So it's very difficult for me to do that. On top of that, when I'm streaming, you know, it's kind of like hard. It's a conflict. So.
Well, I mean, here's another thing that's good. That since you were here, you know, like I said, I got a lot of NorCal people that are in here. Like I said, the guys with that are tweeting to me about their tournament. You know, obviously you're going to start doing Injustice at your house too. You know,
yeah, I would support that. I would support that, dude.
You know, this way, you know, you can get it out there to these guys and say, hey, look, you know what? We're trying to build up this NorCal scene. You know, I want NorCal to body SoCal.
Oh shit!
Can we get an Injustice Fraud Free Friday?
Oh man, I want that, dude. No. I want to do like, so you know how like every Tuesday I do a weekly for Marvel. I have a lot of resources to, you know, shout outs to Capsule Entertainment. They have a lot of equipment, you know, so I have the resources to do another tournament in the same day. I could run 2 games instead of just Marvel, because I was like, yo, fuck Street Fighter. It's so cliquish, like, you know, everybody has their own group. So it's like, fuck that. I'm just gonna do Marvel because there's no click, you know, everybody gets to play everybody. So I wanted to do Injustice, but I just need the players. So I'm trying to promote it in my area, but man, I just really wanted like people to actually play. That's all I wanted. I want people to play the game because that's awesome.
Well, hit up the test your mites in the MKUs, because that's where you're gonna get a lot of your players.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those are the MK people that are, you know, they dick ride on NRS. I mean, NRS could put out a game called Stick Fighters and they'll play it as long as it says NRS. So I mean, you're going to get a lot of people from there.
That's good.
You know, but I mean, it's you know, one of the things that, you know, I think that's got to happen. You know, before there's this East Coast Capcom Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat and all that. With this game, it's got to get duked out, like I said, NorCal, SoCal, you know, the East Coast players, you know, this is what we did with MK, which brought our hype up, you know, to the point where MLG said, hey, you know what, this game actually has some backing to it. We didn't just all of a sudden, like, in Marvel, it's East Coast versus West Coast, or the US versus the world. Because this is a new game, you're still trying to establish it. NorCal and SoCal got to pull out their best players. So basically, they got to do battle with each other.
Yeah, we need rivalries to make the scene interesting. To have casual players to watch it. That's the only time it becomes big. And that's I agree with you. Like, you have to let the game develop at least. Give it like a month or 2. And maybe by, you know, ECT, everybody's ready. I think ECT or CEO might be like the very first legit one. You know what I'm talking about? Like, when everybody knows their stuff, no one's gonna get hit by some stuff that you never seen before, you know? Because right now there's tricks that you get hit. It's like, what the hell is that? Is that even safe? Like, people get hit by that, you know? It's like kind of like the Deathstroke effect. So I think by ECT or CEO, you know, the players in general are gonna learn, and you know, they should be able to adapt to that. So I'm excited for ECT or CEO, and we need like a Capcom players versus the MK players. I'm sure the MK players are gonna has a big advantage because it's kind of like more combat type of game, you know. So, but by that time, there shouldn't be any excuse, you know. But I really want to see that because it just helps the community in general. Win or lose, everybody's gonna get hungry. Oh, like no, we don't want to lose to them. No, we're better. You know, we're better. We're gonna beat them. We should beat them. You know, it's always gonna be that mentality that keeps everybody going. It keeps everybody playing, and that's what we need in the scene. See, the one thing, and Cheech too said this. You know, and this is a myth, I guess. Injustice doesn't play like MK as much. I mean, like, for example, dashing in is free because you're wide open for attack. You know, where, you know, these players in, you know, as everybody calls them, 09ers or whatever they call them, you know, fact of the matter is, these kids that grew up with a block button, you know, now have to go to holding back to block, and the cross-up, you know, factor is obviously a big factor to a lot of these players that are used to the block button.
So I mean, it's funny that the MK community, while I agree with you, they've gravitated toward the game more than any of the other communities. I think if you give it some time, I believe the Marvel players are going to start gravitating to it more than just the Street Fighter 4 players, because it kind of has, I don't want to say that randomness of Marvel, but it kind of does in certain situations have that randomness, and the fact that, like I said, a lot of MK players can't stop a cross-up. You know, they just, it's just not, they're not programmed with it. But you know, in a month or two of playing online and playing people, I don't know. I haven't played the online. Natus, is it any good, or Natus has disappeared on me again?
I didn't hear what you said. Sorry.
I said the online. Is it any good?
Actually, it's not bad. I have to admit, it's actually pretty well. I played quite a few matches with people, and I really haven't had no lag.
And you got like a T3 connection. That's why.
Oh yeah, I got godlike fucking Fios connection over here.
You know, but that's the thing. You know, that's one of the things that, you know, a lot of people, you know, got to understand is, you know, you're only as good as the person's connection you're playing against. It don't matter what you got. It matters what the other person's got. You know, so I mean, a lot of these people that have, even like me, I got cable. You know, I have, I believe it's 85 down and 25 up, which is good, but it depends on what time of the day you're playing. You know, I got freaking Mr. Punjab next door to me downloading Indian porn all day. I'm gonna get fucked. You know, so I mean, it's a matter of, it's a matter of,
shit.
you know, it's a matter of, unfortunately for cable, it's shared connection. How old is this guy? I'm actually not 50 yet. I'll be actually, my birthday's May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. I'll be 43, I think, right? What year were you? 2013. Yeah, I'll be 43. But,
Yo,
yeah.
Yo, James, you gotta at least agree that Injustice is closer to Mortal Kombat than Street Fighter is closer to Injustice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll agree with that. Yeah. I mean, it is very close to it. You know, I don't know. I you know, the switching of the controller factor to make it feel like Street Fighter more really isn't enough to say it's like Street Fighter. It's basically just saying, let's put Street Fighter moves in a Mortal Kombat game.
It helps. It does help.
Does it? Yeah, I tried it. I tried it,
that.
and I actually liked it better. Yes, I'm the oldest player in the FGC. Everybody wants to know. I'm old. I'm older than dirt. But but you know, I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's more, like I said, it feels more like Mortal Kombat. It feels slower, to be honest.
Yeah.
But apparently, from what everybody's saying, is it's actually running at a faster frame than MK9 was. You know, but
the thing is with the game that I sort of struggled with in the beginning, and still now, is that it's the buffering system. Like how you have to input the chain, then you gotta cancel before you gotta cancel your chain into a special. You gotta do that. You gotta input that before the chain finishes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like in the Street Fighter or Marvel games, like you could do A, B, C, and then you could just do, you know, your special at the end of the string. You know, unlike with the NRS games, I think it's you gotta buffer it in before the string finishes, which is very hard. You know, in the beginning part, of it. And I'm still not sure about which thing is safe and which not is safe, even though there's a frame data, but it's still very hard, you know, for a lot of the Capcom players out there.
Even like the MK guys. I mean, it's not an easy. It's because, like I said, it plays different than MK did. So there is a learning curve to it that, you know. I mean, honestly, I've sat with the game for 2 hours tops since it came out. I mean, I just haven't had time. And you know, I see myself the same thing. I'm like, fuck, I did it too late. You know, I'm doing like you. I'll come in light, and then try to do a special into it. And I'm like, wow, I went too late. Now I'm just getting another regular move. So the buffering is a timing issue. The other thing I found a little a little odd to get used to is the juggles. Coming from Mortal Kombat, I feel it was a lot easier to juggle a person. The timing on it is a lot different, you know. And plus, I've noticed you can actually do a juggle by passing the guy, turning around, and then taking him the other direction, which is something that, you know, obviously timing has got to, you know, you got to get used to that timing. But, you know, by ECT, I think everybody should be up to speed.
Yeah, ECT should be the most legit one, Like, I'm excited for that one. I'm excited. And also, you know what hurts the Injustice community, I think, is that, I'm not talking about MK community, like Injustice community in general. Like, what hurts it is that it's not an Evo. Like me, I want to win Evolution for Marvel again. So honestly, right after like by June or end of May, I would stop playing Injustice. Is because I need to practice for Marvel. I don't understand why Mortal Kombat is an Evo, but Injustice isn't. You know what I'm saying? Why can't we have both? And we got Blaze Blue, we got Persona in Evo. You know what I'm saying? Like, why can't we just have both? You know, I'm sure, like, it's not, you know, I'm sure they have time issues. That's probably why. But, you know, I would love to see Injustice and Evo.
I mean, they're gonna have less time. We have the Smash over there now.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You know, one of the things, and once again, you know how I love to bash Evo. I mean, with Smash, I hope Smash goes past this year, because I'm gonna feel like they really fucked the community and just did a PR stunt with the donation drive if they don't actually carry it past this year. You know, to give that kind of money to say, oh yeah, here, we're going to throw you a bone, and we're going to let you be in EVO 2013, but come 2014, don't even approach us. You know,
that could depend on reception though from the community, of how they watched it. Did they like it?
You know, I think, and like I said, Apex for the longest time was considered the Smash's EVO. And the turnout for it, international players, you know, coming down, was it made me go, wow, you know what? I'm not a Smash player, but it made me say, wow, these guys are dedicated to their game. You know, so I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they have a really high turnout for it. Plus, you're going to get people that, you know, those pop monsters that just want to try and grab a couple of bucks, you know, that are going to say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna bust my ass for the next 2 months playing it. Enter it and show up all these fucking guys that have been playing it for 10 years. You know, so I mean, I think it will do well. You know, but I just hope it lasts for the 2014 year as well, and it ain't a one-shot deal. And that's one of the things that, you know, with Injustice, the reason I think it didn't get there is a combination of that, and B, I don't think NRS pushed hard for it. You know, but the fact that you got, you know, MK9 for its 3rd year there for a game that was supposed to be dead 2 years ago, you know, just goes to show you that, you know, the FGC as a whole will surprise the shit out of you.
Yeah. Hey, Ryan, I got a quick question for you.
What's this?
It's your favorite Mad Cat, dog. But anyways, I was...
Alright, go ahead.
Fiyah, the mascot.
I was on YouTube recently and watching a Dante combo video. I want your perspective on this. People are saying, like, combo monsters that post videos on YouTube, would they have a chance against top players? Someone's saying, like, Yipe should fight this guy that played Dante and he did this combo video. I mean, what's your perspective on that? Would they have a chance against top players?
It's like this, okay? The thing is with the combo, what makes a top player is like having the dexterity, the execution, okay? That's one. Then you got, you know, how good is his neutral game, and you know, I think that's probably probably the most important one. Also, then you got clutch, then you got like and you got like his adaptation skills, okay? So I feel like as a combo, like if you just like make combo videos, you probably have execution. But you probably don't have neutral game. I'm sure you could work on it, but most likely you would not beat a top player, unless.
Yo, what's good, y'all?
What's up, Mr. Johnson?
We all good.
Let Ryan finish, and then I'll get you in here.
All right.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, so that's my take on that. But I'm sure it does. If you already got all the combos, now see the thing, he has all the combos, but how is he gonna hit you? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know what you're
How's he
saying.
gonna
That's
hit you?
exactly exactly my thought. It's just these dumbass comments,
Yeah.
everybody trying to blow me up
Like,
because I said
if
so.
he was so good, if he was so good, like making combo videos, then how come he didn't ever enter the tournament? Like, and we should have already heard about him. Come on, the game's been out for 2 years. You never heard of his name ever. You know what I'm saying? So.
Nah, I feel you, dude. That's the same thing I was thinking. I just wanted to hear it straight from you, one of the top players.
That's the answer.
I mean, you know what it is, you know, and it's in the MK community. John, you're typing away. I hear you typing away.
Oh, my bad.
You know, basically, like, you know, the ongoing thing or unspoken feud is combo video makers versus top players. You know, and in a nutshell, we got Tony T over in Australia who makes those all those modded videos, and he wound up coming to I believe it was NEC, and he bodied a lot of people. You know, now, you know, one of the things about these videos is, you know, when they're making these videos, these combo videos, they what they tend to do is set the meter up so you got unlimited meter.
I think I might be on 311.
Natus, you talking over me, you cocksucker? You know what? I love my show because I could do this. Get the fuck off. Go talk to somebody else. But basically, what happens is those people that make those videos are basically in a controlled environment. They're not in a time to think, you know, to think on your toes. That's why, you know, I remember watching. Did they win, though? He actually. He didn't win the tournament, but he placed high.
Exactly, that's the most important thing.
But he placed high.
Did he place top 8?
I believe he made. I think he made 8th or 9th. For a guy that never been to an offline tournament in his life, because you got to remember, MK9 was illegal in Australia up until a couple of months ago. So all he's ever done, you know, it's just like when you get the online versus offline stuff. You know, a lot of online players, you know, get treated like shit by the offline players because they don't go to tournaments. And what wound up happening is now that they start going and winning, now the offline people either got to accept the fact that, hey, wait, they can play. You know, I mean, some of the top players, Detroit Ballin', you know, Pig the Hut, Kerbalicious, these guys were all online players at one time. So, I mean, it's odd that, you know, and it's one of the things that kind of irked me in the community. I don't care if you buy the game as a casual player and go and try to come to tournaments. Just get out there and do it. But this whole this group versus this group, you know, these guys are ass because they play online. So what? They bought the game. They support your scene. You know, that's my opinion of it. The minute you buy the game, you've supported the scene. Now, you don't have to go to every tournament. You know, I mean, I've been asked to go to tournaments, you know, every month for, you know, the next like 6 months. And I'm like, guys, you know, I got a regular job I got to go to. You know, I can't just drop everything every weekend and go to different tournaments. So, you know, it's funny that a lot of people say, like, you know, the combo guys versus the tournament guys. But in MK, I believe the combo guys, which are big combo guys, are the kid Czech and the kid Tony T, do produce results when they come offline. Now, I don't know about Marvel because, like I said, my problem at Marvel is there's so many fruity-ass colors going on, I can't even keep up with it. And that's honestly what stopped me from playing it. I just can't tell what the hell is going on. I guess it's because I'm old now. And yes, Tyler Lantern's another guy that does videos as well. You know, if from what I watched with Yipes versus CD Junior one night, and it was like 67-0, and Junior's an offline player, you know, I can't see a combo guy in Marvel being able to even touch a guy that plays tournament level.
Yeah, that's very hard. It's very hard. But yeah, man, hey, I gotta go, but is there any like final questions or do you guys want me to address, you know?
Well, I mean, do you are you going to be coming there? What's the next tournament you're going to? Obviously, NorCal, we know.
Yeah, NorCal regionals. I think I want to go to ECT. I'm not gonna go to UFGT, I think, but I'm going to ECT and CEO.
All right. Well,
yeah.
I'll definitely be there, and Injustice will be there too. So, you know.
Yeah, man. Let's get a couple of drinks, dude.
Oh, trust me, I'll get you hammered. I heard you like to hit the bottle too. All right, wait. Somebody's asking me, what's your thought on Kusuru?
Oh, this guy, he won the final round last year, but since then he never traveled, so he did a hit and run, so that's it. I mean, don't really care.
So that's what you got. I believe it was Cheech. James, ask him about his thoughts on Kusuru liver poisoning. Yeah, well, I promote liver poisoning. I don't drink on the show as much anymore. That's what's kind of fucked up. I used to drink on the show. You know, I had, if you go back and watch one of my old episodes, I had the girl who played, I had the girl who played Sonya and the girl who played Sindel. Sindel got trashed on my show with me. So we promote drinking, smoking, which I was supposed to quit, but I went back. So I mean, when we come down to ECT, I got you with the booze.
They want to know if you can beat Chris G at NCR Champ.
Yes, I will. Actually, I got a couple of things because, dude, it's very hard to beat Chris, dude. I mean, I personally think like his strategy overall is amazing. It's like, you know, being able just to play with half of your brain and leaving your other half at your house and being able to win term is amazing. You know, like you don't need neutral game. You just need to throw fireballs because you can't really stop it. So, you know, I like that. And regardless if you're better, it wouldn't show because you can't play. But I got a couple of tricks ready. So I trained enough, so I should be able to take him out in NCR. But yeah, I mean, he's a very good player overall. I'm just saying, like, when he wins tournaments, there's not a lot of... He doesn't have to give his all because the game helps him to win. You know what I'm saying? So... so I don't necessarily think it's all skill, but there's execution and some skill, but it's not all that. It's impossible that he's better than me, Justin, or Yipes, okay? He can't be that good. He could be as good, but he can't be that good the way he's dominating. He's sponsored by Morgan, okay? So, he's sponsored by Morgan. So, if it weren't for Morgan, he wouldn't be winning as much. But then again, that's not my fault.
Because he's lost Morgan a lot recently, made Doom and Virgil comebacks.
Yeah, he lost Morgan because they X-Factored Morgan. And then what happens to Virgil kills you. If his Morgan wasn't that much of a threat, then you would never have to X-Factor that character. But you have to X-Factor it, and then you're basically fighting a level 3 X-Factor Virgil later on, which is not easy.
Or you get foot dived and lose the whole game.
Yeah, so it's good. It's part of the meta.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, he's good. There's no doubt. You know, he's the most dominant player right now has ever played Marvel 3, to be honest. So you know that everybody wants to beat him, and I think it's my job to beat him. And everybody asks me, when are you going to beat him? So I should beat him. But if I do beat him in NCR, I'm probably going to save all my shit until Evo. So, yeah.
Better beat his ass.
Yeah. Because Evo, whatever, man. Evo is the most important thing for me right now. So, yeah. So, I got to go, guys. But this is an amazing show. Thank you for talking to you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you for having me.
Anytime, man. You're always welcome on here.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna
hold it down while you're gone, dog.
Alright, man. Hold it down for me, okay?
I got you, dog. And Dormammu and Sinestro and all them niggas. I got you.
Alright, dude. Later.
Alright, man. Alright, now let's go back. Now we got Mr. John Johnson, who is like Barry White. What's up, sir?
How you doing, James? Mr. JamessMK.
I'm doing well, man. So what say you this evening? Let me reach out to these other guys while I'm listening. I have to find my Mr. Tom Brady.
You actually kind of surprised me. I was doing homework. That's why I was typing kind of loud and shit. I'm a little fast typer.
Well, I don't want you to fuck up school for the show.
No, I'm all good. Sometimes I just get on the show and just listen to what y'all had to say.
Let me add this one more boy in the group. So give a background of yourself. You hit tournaments. What games are you playing?
See, right at the moment, I'm more of a casual player. I have a little circle of friends I play fighting games with. I play fighting games of all kinds. I'm not really a gamesist or anything. And this Injustice though, it's the real shit.
Yeah, I'm definitely digging Injustice. I mean, like I said, for the little of time that I've played it, I think I'm gonna take this one a little bit more serious than MK9 finally.
It is though.
You've gotten called.
Yo, can you do a movie trailer voice for us right now, like real quick?
All right.
He doesn't even have to change his voice.
Just do a fucking trailer.
All right. In the world where pelicans and or mammals roam free, there is one hero with the power
me,
of
nigga. The FilipinoChamp. I don't need no fucking intro, dog. I got this shit. My Dormammu and my 3 red hands will blow the screen up, dog. You ain't ready. None of you are ready.
Hell no, y'all aren't ready. So I've been listening right now, and I see that you guys got a problem on your hands, a little problem.
What's that?
Mr. John Nelson.
Yeah, Mr. Nelson. You know, I'll track him down.
See, that nigga didn't pay what he owed.
No.
And that's the problem.
Wow, yo, you know who he is? He's fucking what's his name from fucking Pulp Fiction.
I'm trying so hard to land.
He's a bitch. That's what he is.
You definitely got a voice to collect money.
Ben Rames.
I know.
Ben Rames, there you go.
Yeah.
You were going to throw the fight.
See, when I was listening a few weeks ago, and I heard you say you were a voice actor. I thought you said you were a voice something, and I was like, maybe he can give me some tips or whatever. But I don't know.
I'm not a voice actor. I didn't say that, did I?
I thought I heard you say you were a voice.
No, I do some acting on the side, but I've never, I wasn't like a voice actor or nothing. I just did whatever the hell would come my way, which was usually just college fucking films that go straight to tape or DVD.
That's the good shit.
But it's more of a hobby than a sought out career. I tell everybody the same thing regarding the number of. Why is people spamming me? They're gonna give me 25,000 viewers. I don't give a shit. But I tell everybody the same thing. The best thing to do is get an agent.
Oh yeah.
That's it. Just get an agent. Go there. Where are you?
Right now I'm based in Arizona. I just got out of high school, going to school for digital arts. Wait, what'd you say?
I say jail.
Jail. I'm not there yet.
You got to get in one of those movies with fucking Michael Jai White and shit with that voice. Be like, Michael, you're getting fucked.
Well, I'm doing some kung fu. I'm trying to learn some kung fu. The Ip Man. I've been watching him. Ip Man. Wing Chun. Hell yeah.
Well, like I said, I'm trying to get Tony Jaa. To be honest, Tony Jaa is my most sought after guy that I want to get on the show right now. If I can get him on, I'll be happy. I've gotten responses back from Van Damme. He's, I don't know, I don't want to say he's emo, but he's kind of emo. Michael Jai White had said he would come on, but I haven't reached out to him in quite a while.
Yo, what about Donnie Yen?
I never reached out to Donnie Yen. You know who was actually really... Jeff Speakman was like the one guy who really was like adamant about coming on. Oh, God, here we go. Problem with the call. We all still together?
I'm here.
Okay. I should have went to get Donnie Yen. As far as Sherry Diaholto, I've reached out to her. I don't know if she's... I got to reach out to her again and see if I can get her. But before I get her, I'm gonna have Mr. Tom Brady and Rio coming on in a few minutes.
Tom Brady.
Let me know when you ready. Okay.
I thought the debut tournament for Injustice, I thought that was pretty nice.
Yeah, no, it did. Sammo Hung would be good too. Sammo Hung's actually a cool cat. I actually met him.
Andy Lau.
Who else can I get? I gotta figure out who else I can reach out for. Yo, you know what movie
Hey, James,
I watched?
wasn't Hosun Pack gonna come on?
Hosun Pack actually hit me up. He's shooting a movie right now. What was the last time he hit me up? Let me see what I got here. Hosun Pack, where are you? Hosun Pack said to me last week, 2 weeks ago actually, just found out I am traveling to the East Coast next week. I should be free the week after. Sorry for the delay. Okay, so he's I know he said he's shooting something. He's been, we stay in contact, but because he's shooting, he's got odd days and whatnot that he basically gets a free chance to get on. And what I tell a lot of these guests is that Cary Tagawa lasted the whole thing, so they all kind of try to compete for that 6-hour mark. Where ain't nobody gonna top that.
Nah, because not even you're running that long anymore.
I can't even run that long anymore. And Nate, is your hours changing for work, or you don't know yet?
No.
I should get Power Surge is right. I should get Wesley Snipes now that he just got out of jail. But actually, I can't believe him and who's the other one they said? Him and Mel Gibson are going to be in Expendables 3.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Really? They're making another one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think about the Thor trailer?
Kind of weak.
Yeah, it wasn't too. I mean, I see people like jumping up and down. I'm like, I don't know. The only thing I liked about it is the end when Loki's like, "Oh, now you need my help, huh?"
I didn't even know they made a Thor trailer. Oh shit.
Yeah, they just put out a Thor trailer too.
Okay, I saw this new Superman one. That was pretty good.
Let's see where Mr. Bill is. Mr. Bill. There we go. Let's add Mr. Bill Minotos. And he's always. But
there he is.
Yeah, there he is. Superman, the man of water, because he doesn't use the man of steel. Everybody's on my fucking my Aquaman shit. It was me and Revolver. Revolver was the semen version of him, and I was the trident bearded version of him. I'm gonna cosplay. I think I might cosplay one day and fucking come. Maybe I'll come to ECT dressed up as Aquaman. And I'll go bring a fucking trident and everything. Scare the shit out of everybody. SSJ for Crisis. I'm actually happy the Fall Classic has come about. It just kind of puts more diversity in the FGC, and it kind of allows more East Coast people who would be less apt to come to Evo an opportunity to experience something similar to Evo, and it's not, I look at it this way, and again, I don't think the TOs are competing against each other as much as it is they're trying, A, to make money, which is no problem, but B, trying to bring as much diversity to the FGC as possible. Cheech, you know what, I keep saying I'm not going to come to Toriyukin, but I probably will be coming like I did last time. I'll just pick up on a Friday night and drive up there. It'll just wind up being a last minute thing. I didn't see nothing Devil Reapers on Avengers 2. Did they show anything yet?
I don't think anything's been released yet.
Yeah, I don't think.
I don't think so either.
They're probably gonna wait until after they do all the Marvel movies, and then they'll start piping up Avengers 2.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the one thing that DC's problem is, I gotta say, I think that I haven't watched any of the Superman since fucking Christopher Reeve, but I will say this one actually looks pretty damn good. Man, I was actually kind of impressed with it, and Zod looks like a kick-ass motherfucker. When you go back to the one from back in the heyday, it kind of looked like a bitch. But this one, they definitely made him look good. Let's see if Bill picks up now. Hey, there we go. He's the only guy I know that has a regular ring to his fucking Skype. Shout outs to South Africa.
Hey, what's up, brother?
What's going on, sir? So,
You doing all right?
I'm always doing all right. We just had a FilipinoChamp on finally.
Oh, awesome.
So, congratulations on yourself and Rio taking first and second for a civil war. You guys got some swords to go around impaling people with now?
Yeah, it's kind of tough to travel with them, though. You know, gotta.
Yeah, I wouldn't think they'd be too apt to let you carry on freaking swords on planes and trains.
Nah, you gotta find little creative ways to sneak them around.
You managed to sneak it in?
Well, no, we did was we put them in our suitcases and just had the top part of it sticking up. So, because we were at the train station, the lady's like, "What are you guys doing with those big knives?" And I was like, "They're trophies." And the lady's like, "I don't think you can bring those on the train." So we put them in our bags, and of course they're too big for the bag, so just the top of it was sticking out. But no, people left us alone at that point.
You guys should have just put them in and strapped them to your belts and walked around with a belt.
What Civil War should have done was give you them in boxes, because shit like that can get you in trouble. Because that happened to me in New York a few years ago. I was arrested for transporting a sword back from one location to another.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of worried about, but I mean, luckily it worked out. And the thing about Civil War, you know, I was glad. First of all, I'm glad we were able to give him a good show. Congratulations to Rio. He's my sparring partner. We basically learn the game together. We fight each other every day in some of the hardest matches, and it was really cool that we were able to get. One, I was so good that we showcased the pig stage and how stupid the pig is, and two, I'm glad we were able to give a good show, nice, fast matches. I mean, I know that everybody was thinking, this game is all zoning, standing across the screen, throw fireballs, and it's really not that way at all. I mean, I remember when we first played in Chicago, it was the same way, standing across the screen and throwing projectiles at each other. And once you get better at the game, it's more fast-paced. So, which is why when we saw all the complaining about Deathstroke, we were thinking, at first, zoning is ridiculously overpowered. You're automatically struggling to move. You're across the screen. You want to zone versus zone, and then when you try to come in, the movement feels weird at first. And after a while, this movement that feels weird, this game is 1,000 times more freedom than MK9. The movement options are better than MK9. It's just a little different, so you just have to get used to it. And so we were glad we were able to show the game off, and glad that we were able to show that MK players aren't, these terrible gamers that we were made out to be originally.
Well, I mean, it's proven that. I even consider Chris G somewhat of an MK player. So I mean, it's top 3, right? Who took fourth place? Who took fourth?
I think Art. I mean, first of all, I want to say that Art and Chris G are great fighting game players. First of all, Chris G obviously wins constantly in fighting games. I think Chris G is one of the best fighting game players out there. And, Christy's always been cool to our community, and, I've always been cool with Christy, even before he had the success he has now. Back when he was, coming up, he would say, everybody really hated on Chris G, and I've always supported the guy. I've always liked him. So, I'm glad to see him having success. In Art, along with Team Spooky, those guys have been, helping our community out for a long time. I remember back in MK9, Art, he picked his game up, and when other players from Capcom were putting it down and bashing it, Art, he supported our tournaments constantly, and he was, him and Spooky were constantly, our game was always on stream. There have been events where people were saying, no, you got to run your game off stream, I'm sorry, put on your own private stream, and, Team Spooky, it's a big deal to have your game put on there, make sure the game is showcased and gets people interested in the game. And Art and Spooky always found a way to fit us in. Art, Spooky, Chris Ace, those guys have always been good to us. Josh also now, I'm glad that Josh got to come on this project. Josh is a good fighting player, pretty open-minded as well. But he also did pretty well in the tournament. So there are some guys from the Capcom world who are really cool to us and really support us. And the best thing about this tournament was that there were a lot of players from Marvel and Tekken who entered this tournament, and they really liked the game. Alucard, he's a really good Marvel 3 player. He seemed into it. NYC Fab was there, and he told me, he's going in hard on this game, and he's going to get into it. He went out and bought the game, and so we got a lot of players from a lot of other scenes. And the thing is, when MK9 came out, I remember the first MK9 tournament. Justin was playing in it, and Flo was playing in it, and Art was there, and everyone was there as well. And I didn't get the same positive feedback from MK9 that I got from Justin. And with MK9, it was, I guess I'll play, and whatever, it's okay, I guess. And this game, I absolutely loved it. The thing is, I think people actually love MK9. When MK9 first came out, characters were dirty, but there wasn't enough dirt, and the dirt that was dirty was just too unfair, And in this game, everyone is 10 times more filthy than they were in MK9, but the filth is equally distributed. No one right now has a character that they don't feel they have something retarded with. I mean, they may have trouble getting around someone else's stuff, but they don't feel like they have nothing. And everyone's really into that. They can't wait to get into the game, find their own cheapness, find a way around your cheapness. At least in other fights, these other people, that's how they feel. And so when I came back from Civil War, myself and Rio, and we saw the Deathstroke stuff, we were a little upset about that because we don't want what happened to MK9 to happen to Injustice. I mean, we just came back from a tournament where I've gotten more positive feedback than I ever have from an NRS game, and everyone seemed really enthused about it. And then I see, it's got to go, this start's got to go. And as I'm reading the post there, I'm reading these people saying, hey, I've been playing, I had a city for 2 years playing Striker and Jade getting mopped up. Now I go to Deathstroke and I have to lose what I have because people have problems with it. And I agree 100%. I mean, there are things that are really hard to get around at first, Deathstroke being one of them. Doomsday, another thing is it's kind of hard to get used to at first. But when you get into the game, these things are not as hard as you originally thought they were. And once you start like a public outcry, then the problem is it's kind of hard to do away with it. Even if you find ways around it and show ways around it, there are people that are basically, always going to have problems with it because they don't want to put the time into it, and they're going to say, it's cheap, it has to go. So, I mean, the thing is, once you take something, it's gone. It can never come back. So, months down the road, if something is gone and you say, what, it actually kind of sucks, and that probably should have stayed. There's nothing you can do about it now. It's done. And, what I hate is, everyone likes to have characters that have options the way they like to play. If you want to play a rush-down character, and you feel like you have a lot of, you want to work on your gear, like, well, when I get in, what am I going to do with them? See, the zoning character, you obviously want to zone. We put that one video out, and we 4 o'clock in the morning when we made that video, and we wanted to explain it more in detail, and we didn't even want to use Lex Luthor. We wanted to show, one, that the guns were punishable, they're not totally safe and at advantage, and we wanted to use a slower Punisher. But we were instructed that it had to be Lex Luthor. And we said, okay, well, Lex Luthor has a pretty fast Punisher, so if it has to be Lex Luthor, we'll use this move here. And when we had the other video made, it was 4 a.m., we had to catch the train, we didn't have time to upload it. So we said, okay, well, when we get to New York, we're going to go ahead and we're going to upload it. When we got to New York, we went to Rob's, and, Rob's, first of all, Jimmy will tell you, we fucking fucked around to the train station and missed like half the fucking trains. So we got to Rob's late, and Rob's laptop is, it's on the fritz right now, so we said, okay, we'll upload it tomorrow. And we're catching all this slack about, this video is a bad example, and, yada, 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 and, there's a bad example of how to get around this zoning because it wasn't about getting around it, it was just to show that they're not safe. And then when we put the other video up today, I didn't really mean to go in on, the video didn't go up. Hold on a second.
1, 2, 3.
Where you at?
He said it'll be your bet.
You know.
Okay, so basically, Crimson Shadow, I was like, who's giving these instructions? I'm not going to get into which top players are giving me instructions to use Lex Luthor. I mean, in reality, you could, Wound Cowboy was in that thread saying that this match is terrible for Lex Luthor. What is he supposed to do? How to work that zone? Lex Luthor, there are people in that thread that were saying Lex Luthor is a 10-0, he loses 10-0, 9-1. I mean, all these things are being said. So we were instructed to use Lex Luthor or Harley. Harley Quinn gets around this easy. So Lex Luthor probably struggles the absolute most to get around this. So that's why the video was made. And I see comments from Jeremiah, or some of the other GVA guys, and say, oh, he can meter burn, he can do this to keep you, he can run. Look, God forbid a fucking zoning character has an option to maintain their zoning. What I'm getting here is that that in Injustice, a zoning character should have no options to maintain their zoning, and you should have all the fucking options in the world. God forbid one zoning option. I mean, I go in there and I read Jeremiah's post. Well, when you get in, you can just do the forward and 3, and it's just the. So what you're telling me is that something is broken. Let me expose a couple of things right now. One, I want to thank those testers in Chicago, the QA guys, 16-bit, Slips, Delrich, Winston, Derek Q, a few of the ones that I know I'm forgetting, a Southside Jam, I know he's going to blow me if I don't remember that. Those guys, and I forget there's some of the other names. Those guys did a good job over there. And I feel like the guys that were there for only a few days, they seem to get all the credit, Good job, guys. You really try to balance this game, whatever. But, their work is 10 million times what we did. They're there constantly. You were only there for 2 weeks, and those guys were, there the whole time. So those guys have to be thanked long before our names get mentioned. The thing is with like these guys, like, I read what Jeremiah says, I read what Dizzy says, I read what 16-bit says. First of all, I hate this term of something being broke. I can't stand it. First of all, I want to say this.
Nothing is broke. That's the first thing.
They are down players. So let me tell you, I don't care if Katana is top 5 or top 8. Kate is probably like top 4, to be honest. I don't want to hear any down play. These guys play characters where most of the cast have no fucking options whatsoever, and they're coming from a game that is watered down, where they don't have to deal with any more dirt. And think about it. Any character that's dirty in MK9, true or false, is complained about constantly. Are we not lying? Does anybody complain about Sector? No. And people complain about Smoke. You hear the Smoke complaints. You still hear the Freddy complaints. The Katana complaints cease because Katana players have convinced the world that they are playing the worst character in the world. And this is I come from 16-bit. The 16-bit, he entertains the idea that maybe Katana's, better or worse. He doesn't, he's just like, I don't know, maybe she is,
Well, I look at it this way, which, by the way, let me just give a quick shout-out to the Katana of the world, Chaotic, for a great performance at Civil War. Officially now the best Katana out there. So just shout-out to Chaotic.
Damn.
Damn, Jimmy, kind of rub it in, man. I mean, 16-bit, no one has accomplished what he's done with Katana. But Chaotic, I will say this Chaotic has come up very well, so has Lowe's Lou. I mean, those guys. Lowe's Lou, I'll tell you right now, this guy, he's worked harder than anyone I've ever seen. This guy, he'll play, and if he loses, and when people aren't playing, he just can practice more work on his execution. I can't tell you how many times I've seen Lowe's Lou sit in practice mode, work on an execution, just to get everything he does down. So, but, besides, 16-bit at times has downplayed Katana. He's even admitted that. But a lot of times he's open to the suggestion that maybe she is better. I mean, I don't know. But Katana players as a whole have known to be huge down players. Cage players are probably the biggest down players out there. I mean, you got people out, think about it. People complain about Cage. People complain about Katana. People complain about Smoke. They complain about Freddy, about Cyrex, Sonya, Cabal, and Kenshi. Basically, any character that has any kind of dirt gets complained about. Cage slides under the radar. You don't realize how retarded he is. For his problems against, 3 characters, and he mocks up the rest of the cast with a blindfold on. And people don't realize how retarded that character is. And, but there's no one out there complains about Sector. No one does. No one complains about Sub-Zero. No one complains about Ermac anymore. No one complains about any of these other quote-unquote cheap characters.
Yeah, you know what? Paulo kind of dropped the ball on Baraka because there's nothing to complain about him.
Yeah, nothing to complain about. I mean, but nobody complains about any other characters. They only complain about any characters that have a little bit of dirt. But even the characters like Cage and Katana that have their own dirt and Smoke pale in comparison to characters like Kenshi and Cabal. Those characters are just on a whole other level of being ridiculous. So, in this game, every character has dirt. So people are coming from a game where you can play a few characters and mop up the cast with a blindfold on, from a game where, I mean, look, I play a messed up character, and so does Rio. We both admit our characters are messed up. And even though we're playing 2 powerful characters, we'll play each other and get so mad at the game that we want to punch the wall. I mean, it's frustrating because we're so cheap when we play each other, and we understand we're using really powerful characters. But the whole game is like that, where everything you're using is supposed to be cheap. And I just feel like this game, every character's got their own dirt, more so than MK9 did. And I think coming from MK9, people just aren't used to that. I mean, these guys have their own dirt. Like, Doomsday is supposedly broken. I mean, there are characters that, the Killer Frost, Aquaman.
What about Grundy, dude? I found Grundy to be kind of fucking annoying.
Grundy, think about it. If you can't get off the ground against Grundy, what the hell are you supposed to do? I mean, Grundy is...
Dude, let me ask you, how do you get away from his super? Because I sure as hell can't.
Grundy's super works a little bit like Doomsday's. Grundy has armor, whereas Doomsday is not armor, but Grundy can't be... First of all, you want to run away from him as fast as possible. He can only jump, but he can't dash. So realize he cannot dash. He has to walk or jump.
Yeah, but he runs fucking fast across the screen.
He does walk fast, but he actually can get knocked out of his move. So what you want to do is try to just keep poking with your fastest poke over and over again.
Dude, I hit him with Aquaman's fucking the multi-hit one he does and the enhanced version, and the guy still hit me with the super. I was like, you gotta be shitting me.
Especially if he gets hit, his meter is still going on, and you're in recovery. What you want to do is basically just keep mashing down, one down, something like that. And you'll keep hitting him out of it. You can actually hit him out of the throw part. It's definitely not easy. It's not supposed to be easy, but you do have options to hit him out of it. I mean, every character gets something cheap. I mean, Grundy is ridiculously cheap. Deathstroke is cheap. I mean, Doomsday is probably the least cheap out of every character that's being complained about. Doomsday, if you're a character that can't anti-air Doomsday, I guess it can be kind of hard, but most characters have things to do, and Killer Frost is going to anti-air him, but she parries everything he does, including when he's in his trait, and then he has to die. Batman's bats is ridiculously effective against Doomsday. Aquaman, Deathstroke, Cyborg obliterate Doomsday. You got the Doomsday player getting mopped up by Cyborg because they can't even move, and then you have to hear, "Oh, nerf that dog." You're like, "Let me get this straight. I'm already getting crushed, and you want to nerf what I'm doing?" You know what I mean? So, I definitely don't. I don't agree with any idea about nerfing, because I think all these characters are ridiculous cheap. If Doomsday Splash, I guess for the matches where people say he can never this character has no options at all. Maybe, I guess I agree with the outcry to tone that down, even though I really don't, but I can understand it. I don't think the character should be touched. But I guess I can understand that part.
After a year, dude.
I mean, I'm looking at Ares. I see that Ares reset. I love it. I hope that Ares reset never goes. If Ares gets nerfed, I'll be extremely upset. I don't see one reason why that should go. I don't see one reason why characters should lose their dirt.
I think that as the game is right now, and hopefully NRS, picked up on, You know, the disadvantage to, you know, and I hate to say listening to the criers, just give it time. This time around, give it time. Now, in 6 months, if everybody's still saying the same shit, all right, do a fucking patch, you know, and tweak some things here and there. But, you know, if there's a will, there's a way. There's a way around everything.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
honestly,
just your style of playing.
Let me just say, when I first took the tape with the Deathstroke thing, you know, I talked to him today, and he said, you know, why didn't you just tell me in detail the exact way to get around it? You know, I was having trouble. Why didn't you just tell me? You know, I don't have the time. You guys obviously have played the game for longer. I didn't know. And the truth is, I'm not going to sit here and say that we're all powerful and all knowing and whatever, because we honestly didn't know either until we went to make the video, which is after I had spoken to him, and we looked it up and we looked into it. I mean, so for me to say, oh, I knew, and this guy didn't. No, I mean, it's not like that at all. We didn't know either. So I mean, I guess we take part of the blame as well for not putting the correct information out immediately, because we didn't know the correct information right away. And we didn't want to put out bad information, so we figured, well, until we have the exact facts, no information is better than bad information, which is why we didn't. So we do take some responsibility for that as well. I mean, at least I will take some of it. So, but I definitely don't feel like there should have been a public outcry to nerf something in general. And talked to him about it, and I mean, it was just like, okay, I misunderstood what he was trying to say, and I mean, it's water under the bridge as far as I'm concerned. I mean, he's a community leader. He's obviously a good player. He proved that in MK9. And it was just, and I believe me, I know where it's coming from, because I remember when I was trying to get in, when I was first learning the game, I had the same problems. I couldn't stand fighting Doomsday. I couldn't stand, I know the Doomsday outcry now. Doomsday is whatever.
Hey, Brady, Chief asked a question. Can you push block Grundy's grab?
No, you cannot.
Okay.
No, you can't push block.
Sherry codes.
First of all, let me say, so the every character's got something that's ridiculously broken. I mean, I feel like you have a lot of carry, and no one is talking about so many of the really powerful characters in the game. And I mean, absolutely nobody. Then you have other characters, people like that's broke. And broken is a relative term. Just because one particular character you may think is too strong, broke is relative to what's in the game right now. If you think that maybe there are 10 to 14 characters who are quote-unquote broke, but the other 10 are not, why don't you give the community some time to find out what is or is not broke? I hate, especially from people who are, either testers or former testers or whatever, to start throwing around the way broke, that something is broke. It's implying that it's unfair, as if this character has too much advantage over the rest of the cast. And you don't really know what the characters have until everyone gets their hands on the game. I mean, I was only one person, Rhea's only one person. You can't find everything. Those guys in Chicago, while they did a really good job, there's a big difference between a group. Oh, Delbridge also, I thank him. I definitely got to thank him, put that in. He's one of the testers who really helped with a lot of stuff. I mean, if don't tell me that 10 or 20 people is equal to the rest of the freaking planet. It's impossible. The rest of the planet is obviously going to find things that a group of 20 people cannot find. It's just the way it is. Some people are going to find their therapy. Bane players are going to find something really stupid. Catwoman players are going to find something really stupid. Any character that's supposed to be quote unquote bad, they're going to find something really stupid.
So let me ask you this, because I mean, and Cheat said it best. If everybody's got something broken, then nobody's broken. But what is Hawk Girl got? Because I haven't even gone near her.
She ain't got shit.
Hawk Girl, come on, man, get out of here with that. Hawk Girl's supposed to be like a really cheap hit and run character. So let it develop. Let people find their own stuff. I mean, Hawk Girl's kind of is really annoying, to be honest with you. She's got a lot of safe attacks, they're spammable, and let people get on them, and you'll find out they'll find something cheap with her. People are finding stuff that's cheap with everybody.
I mean, I think Aquaman needs some more buffs. He needs a
Yeah, he
faster.
probably should use
He could use a
some, you know,
faster
I heard
try and throw. A faster and try and throw.
I heard Wonder Shelf. You know, first of all, I want Chef to change his name to EVP Pirate Chef. All right, this guy. I want to address a couple things about Civil War. One,
Finally.
My comment about "fuck you, Juggernaut." Let me tell you where that came from. Or just fuck yourself, whatever I said. Yes, I know it was unprofessional. However, I am so tired of this community keeping me out of battles simply because I played Sub-Zero and MK9. And I'm sorry I only made top 8 for the life of the game consistently and didn't win consistently. You know, my mistake, dog, for playing that character and sticking it out and doing what nobody else on the fucking earth can do with him. My bad, dog. I ain't playing Sub-Zero in this game. And those mistakes, Sub-Zero slightly holding me back from me being inadequate in the game. This is a new game, and I want to represent this community in these team battles, and I don't like being left out of the conversation. People who have never played the game in tournaments yet in this game, yeah, we'll put them in there because they did good in MK9 time. Now leave his ass out, you know. And I'm tired of being left out of those things. And Juggernaut did that, and I'm like, I'm not some scrub playing some bottom-tier character in this game. There are no bottom-tier characters anymore. You know, it's so I got a little offended about that. I don't like how the community does that either. I mean, it really irritates me. And the next thing was Wonder Shelf, you know, Pirate Chef over there. And I guess I kind of went on a little bit about it on the MK stream, and I apologize for taking away from the action there. But myself and Art were talking earlier about how they banned whatever from Wednesday Night Fights, and I said, I agree to that. I agree that it's one day after the game, and anyone that has advanced whatever should be banned. What I said, the funny is that the people that tested the game, the guys who are payroll employees by NRS, the guys that were there temporarily to test the game, or the guys who were strategy guide or just that stuff, whatever it may be, they didn't play the game because they were like, hey, dog, I'm going to play this game, and I'm going to go ahead and get my advantage to go to Wednesday Night Fight to win $2,000. You know, that was not their agenda. Their agenda was to do a job. I mean, you're the strategy guy. You guys that bought the guide, you guys don't want to pay for trash, obviously, so you want a good job done. You guys that went out and bought the game, you obviously want the game to be a good game, so the guys that tested it, you want them to do their job. You know, you don't want them to say, well, we're not going to play the game. Let the game come out however it is, simply because we don't want to play it. We don't want any kind of advantage. People aren't playing for an advantage. They're playing because it's their job. Their job is to ensure the quality of the product, which is ultimately what we all want. And they're doing it for work purposes. Then you get guys like EGP Pirate Chef who pirate the game because they're so tired with their name being mud for the 2 years of MK9 and getting the bejesus beat out of them constantly. They think, this is my chance to finally shine. And, I don't want, because Justin Wong is going to be beating me for the 3 years I play this game. If I can pirate the game and play it for a week and a half or 2 weeks before this tournament, I can win $2,000. So here we got a guy who goes out and pirates the game for the sole purpose of trying to get an advantage in a $2,000 tournament. And yet he has I don't have a problem with that. If you want to do that, hey, that's fine. I have a problem with since he pirated the game to gain his own unfair advantage, he then turns around and blows up people like myself for, they'll have the advantage. They should be banned, When we're not playing the game for any kind of advantage, we're playing it because it's our job to do a particular service. Well, this guy sitting there throwing the first stone over there should be having 1,000 stones thrown at him because he actually pirated the game just to try to win $2,000.
And how did that work out?
He got second.
He lost. He was, first of all, not only did he lose, but Tyrant should have beat him 1,000 times worse because Wonder Chef was getting out of the Superman trap wrong every single time. Tyrant could have just done 4-2-3 breath, 4-2-3 breath. Chef obviously was too stupid to know he wanted to do anything about it. And he didn't know what he was doing. He didn't even know how to get out of it. He had the game for a week and a half early and didn't even know how to get out of it. I just don't like somebody pirating the game, calling out, other testers, and trying to blow them up, put them on blast, as if we're these terrible human beings trying to get the game and take advantage of the community. When this guy did exactly that, there was no reason for Chef to have the game early. he didn't do it for work purposes. He got the game early, went to a $2,000 tournament, which was supposedly banned, and some of these testers were only there for 5 days. So Wonder Chef actually had more time on the game, a more recent version of the game than some of the testers did. So he actually had more time on the game than some of these testers who were banned. Had more time on a more recent version than some of these testers that were banned, and yet he's not banned from this tournament. Instead, he's allowed to exploit his advantage. So
see, I personally believe that anybody that played. Listen to me, my fucking piss poor English. That went out and downloaded the pirated version. Not only did a disservice to the MK community, and I've told you this on the show fucking a million times. I'm not in the movie industry. I download movies, fuck that. But, to do it to NRS at the same time you dick ride NRS is kind of fucked up. It's like, yeah, I'll suck your dick, but, I'm going to fuck, if I got an opportunity to rip you off. And of course people are saying, well, they didn't lose nothing because they bought the game anyway. It's the point. It's the point of grabbing a pirated version of the game. And, Natus and I had a long talk about that. And, I convinced him not to do it for that simple fact because he said it to me. And it's like, if you want to dick ride the company, support the company. That's just my belief. And, I guess I'm a little fucking emo when it comes to shit like that. But I wouldn't bother grabbing it. I had an opportunity. I got a modded Xbox. I could have did it. But I said, nah, why bother? Oh, to wait an extra week? Is it really that bad?
Yeah, I agree. And I guess, again, I'll probably just want to share for saying he's too stupid to get around that trap. Obviously, I'm going too far there. But he could have got around me. He didn't know what he was doing. And, and don't get me wrong. He's only played, he had an unfair advantage, but, it's concept to know how to get around everything. Obviously, I don't even know how to get around everything. I just don't like the fact that somebody who pirated the game to have their advantage, then turns around and says, "Hey, who are you guys? You guys are trying to get your advantage. You're going to have the advantage again." And he tried to blow me up on Twitter about it. And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? You pirate the game. You pirated the game and tried to sneak a $2,000 win, bro. Unlike the rest of us who actually, did it, because it was our job to do it. It was whatever. So. That's why I made that comment, and, I do apologize to the community for going on a little too long about on the MK9 stream. The subject came up because Art had lost to that guy Killinator, and Art was saying, ban the testers from everything, like we're some unbeatable gods, it's ridiculous, we're thinking it's ridiculous to ban the testers, who actually... it was their job to test out the game.
Napalm just said, what did he say? Wonder Funk's titties were leaking on that Level Up stream last week.
Oh, Lord. So, hold on. Hey, yo. First of all, what's up, everybody? Hey,
what's up, Truf?
Yo, what's up, man? Who was trying to ban testers? That's the dumbest fucking thing you can ever do. Who was trying to ban testers from events?
Well, no, what it was, I understand the point. It was the Level Up stream. It was the day after the game came out. I believe me, I totally understand that because.
But here's the other thing, though. But here's the thing, though. When Street Fighter Cross Tekken was coming out, when they had the alpha builds placed specifically in Cali, so that top Cali players can play it early. Capcom wanted to see how much cheesy shit they can pull out so they can patch it later. Those same people on release day for the event at Wednesday Night Fights were all allowed to play. They didn't. No one said a thing. No one bitched. No one moaned. No one said, "Oh no, but Justin Wong got to play early. Oh, Combo Fiend got to play early." They just dick rode and cheered them on as they beat on people who were just pulling out day one stuff like the Kazuya Infinite and all that stuff. As far as Injustice goes, people are just now seeing like the crazy shit you can pull, and it wasn't even done by you or Perfect Legend. Don't get me wrong, Perfect Legend right now, as it stands on PSN, he is #1 in ranked matches. I played him twice. I was pulling up ranked matches and I pulled him up twice. But the stuff that he was doing really wasn't stuff that I really was scared about. I mean, I was like, oh shit, Perfect Legend, but I beat him with Doomsday once, and then I lost the next time I saw him. So he wasn't ready for Doomsday. So whatever I did must have surprised him, and he made the guide. So personally, I feel if you want to go into a event, fuck it. You pay just like everybody else does. You just happen to test the game. What people don't understand is testing rules for games, especially fighting games. You might not get every character. They might just tell you to test out one character. They might tell you then later on to do this. So whereas you were a tester, who the fuck knows what you tested? Who knows what characters you got put on? So you might have been put on Superman, Batman, The Flash, and then Perfect Legend got put on Sinestro, Green Lantern. I mean, they don't give you the entire roster to test. They'll tell you to do certain things. You get told as a tester what the hell you're supposed to do. They don't just say here's the game. Nah, seriously, they'll just give you a game and say here's the game. Just play the game. No, if you're getting paid to test the game, you're not getting free reign of shit. They're gonna tell you, look,
that's true.
You got 4 days in Superman. Tell me what's wrong with them. And then that's it. They leave it at that.
Obviously. Yeah,
I mean, that's the way it works.
But the thing is myself and Art, the reason why I brought it up, but the Wonder Chef example, is myself and Art were saying, if you want to, to ban people who tested the game, but then allow people who pirated the game, it's like, you guys who tried to make sure the game came out, you guys who make sure the game came out good, you guys suck. You're banned. You guys who pirated the game, come on in, brother. Come on in and reap the rewards.
I mean, I talked to James. As a matter of fact, James can tell you on Facebook. I talked to James and said, yo, I really should grip this. And James is like, nah, man, don't do that. I know you normally do. It was out a week and a half before release on Xbox360isos.com. It was on KAT.ph 2 days later. So if you think I'm bullshitting you, those were the 2 sites. I know those sites, but James was like, nah, don't do it. And I went, just like everybody else, at 12 o'clock midnight. Yeah, I played, and I won their little GameStop tournament, whatever. But I was glad to see in Kansas City, Missouri, 45 people at a midnight release for Injustice. 45 people. And that kind of amazed me because I was like, well, why are you guys waiting for the game? And it was like, yo, it's DC. It's finally a good DC game. And people bought it. And that was kind of cool. No, I got to admit, that was kind of cool.
Wednesday night fights. I'm okay with the Wednesday night fights rule. I'm okay with them saying ban the test. I'm totally okay with it. What I'm not okay with is a guy named EGP Pirate Chef who went ahead and blew up the testers for an unfair advantage, and then he shows up as you're pirating the game to try to win the tournament.
Yeah,
he pirated the game.
Yeah, and what I think is interesting is the point that Arturo made that, like, y'all played a different build of the game. So, like, while Chris G was playing, it was messing him up a little bit in match because he was used to a different build.
As a matter of fact, y'all even said that during the commentary. You said some of the stuff that Chris G was doing, he can't do no more in this game.
Yeah.
And there was times where he even looked and said, what the fuck? And then he went back to the controller. Because some of the Green Lantern shit he was trying to link wouldn't link no more. Like, he was trying to link that slide into a lot of his combos, and they weren't hitting. They weren't at all.
I mean, there's different versions of the game, and, I mean, but I just didn't like somebody calling out myself or any other tester for having an advantage. And then, okay, man, well, I guess, okay, you want to call us out for entering tournaments, okay. And then you pirate the game a week and a half early, and you go to a tournament yourself for $2,000.
You might as well have just said he was a tester. He should be banned.
I would say testers have a day 1 through 3 advantage. After that, it's fair game because after day 3, you got people like Desk. You got all these guys doing stuff that you guys didn't do. You guys couldn't do. There are some things that Desk can do with characters that most testers will go, I didn't know that. Same with Marvel vs. Capcom 3. If the testers had such an unfair advantage, why aren't they winning? You know how much goofy shit we found in that game in the first week that testers couldn't find that Capcom was forced to patch out?
It really, I mean, if you look at the people who placed, whether they tested the game or not is irrelevant. They're the same people that place in fighting games in general, whether it be MK, Capcom, fucking Street Fighter. Every one of those testers placed. So whether they got the game earlier or not, and how many builds of the game did you go through where something worked today and it don't work tomorrow? Right. So it's like, it isn't like you came up with this grand game plan from day one and you said, this is what I'm going to do and I'm going to spam this over and over. you don't have that option. And plus,
well, did you see the matches?
Yeah,
those wins weren't like, those wins were hard as shit. Some of them won by like a small margin of life. They were getting their ass beat.
Oh yeah,
some of those dudes were getting their ass beat. Like Arturo did not know what to do against that Lex Luthor shit. He really couldn't. He was like, I don't know. This is proof positive that testers don't get, you know. I mean, like I said, day 1 through 3, it's all you, man. Days 1 through 3, it's all the testers. After that, it's us. And if you don't keep up, like we don't keep up, you're going to get whipped.
It's ludicrous to think that the rest of the world is not going to find out more than a group of 20 or 30 people are. I mean, obviously they are, and they're going to find it out much faster also. So, I mean, I agree. And that's what Art brought up. You know, Art was like, yeah, you know, we have whatever, and yet, you know, we're sitting here having a fight like everybody else does. I mean, it's truth. When it came to those issues like, of like, you know, testers being banned and everything, that's why I call that Wonder Shaft, you know, and the reason I say that whatever about Jux is just because, you know, I want to represent this community. MK, I don't like that just because I played Sub-Zero and you know, I'm sorry, dog, my bad for, I'll say this right now. There are a lot better characters than Sub-Zero and MK9. I've seen, you know, there are Liu Kangs, there are Ermac's a better character, I think Rain's a better character, Brady sure as hell is a better character.
Cabal.
Sonya's definitely a better character than Sub-Zero by far, not even close. Sector's a better character than Sub-Zero.
There's too many, man. If you keep listing, you'll be going on all day.
But let's be serious here. Sub-Zero is seen constantly in top 8. Sonya isn't, Reptile isn't, Liu Kang isn't, Raiden isn't, Ermac sure as fuck isn't. It's Sub-Zero. With one man on this earth is always in top 8. So I don't like being... Yeah.
Oh, man. Real talk, man. Here's the deal. Do you want to compete in Injustice? Yes or no? Do you want to compete? What? Do you want to compete? So, do you give a fuck whether you're a tester or not?
No, I don't give a fuck. But I do give a fuck about what I do give. No, hold on. What I do give a fuck is I don't want to be left out of any kind of injustice battles like I was in MK, simply because of, well, in MK, you know, he did all right with Sub-Zero, but I mean, there are people that did a little better. So let's leave him out of his injustice because of stuff that happened in MK9. Give me a break with that, man. I do not like that train of thought, and I don't like being, I want to represent this community in these team battles. And I don't like the insinuation that I'm some trash bum off the street, you know. I don't like that. I mean, come on, man. TYM, man, you'd be amazed with Street, brother. I mean,
so if Sub-Zero becomes a DLC, could we plan on seeing a Tom Brady using Sub-Zero?
No, you know, I'll be honest with you, I will never again for the rest of my life play a low-tier character. For the rest of my life, I'll never again. I'll never again play. I'll never again play a mid or low-tier character because it's never worth it. I mean, when you're playing a top-tier character, everybody always, you know, they get on you and they say, oh, you're only winning because of this, or you're winning because of that. Win with skill, you know. But then when you do that, you know what they say? Well, you're doing great, but you're not winning. Gotta go, dog. They want you to play the worst character in the game and have the same success as if you play the best character in the game. Otherwise, you're trash. You know, so it's never worth it.
Say this, man.
That's why I brought those things up, though. You know, and if I took away from the action, I apologize for my comments to Jug, and I apologize for taking the attention of the K9 stream when I was talking about the Wonder Chef thing. But one thing I don't want is I don't like what's going on right now with the only thing that maybe should be removed, I guess, somebody can consistently do the sideboard, you know, full-screen block infinite, which affects 19 to 24 characters. I could see that possibly going if someone can consistently do it, which is always someone that will. Besides that, there's nothing in the game that really should go. I mean, I think it's fine.
I'll tell you one thing that needs to go. I'll tell you one thing that needs to go immediately, and it happened to me last night. If you fly with Hawk Girl and you stay completely above the guy, you cannot knock her out the air. If you jump up, your shit will hit the other way. Let's say Superman's facing right, and of course Hawk Girl's on the left, and you do the flight move. Well, if you fly and sit right in the middle of Superman, if he jumps up, he will actually, all of his moves will face the opposite direction away from Hawk Girl. It does not autocorrect at all. You can jump straight up, he will swing the other way.
There's no autocorrect in the game.
Yes, there is. Doomsday autocorrects. Batman autocorrects. Sinestro autocorrects. Green Lantern can actually grab you out of the air.
She only has 10 wing flaps though. Like that doesn't last very long.
But if you're Superman and you stand in front of her, you'll get her out of the air.
Yeah, but if she goes in the middle of you, he'll just jump and waggle back and forth, and you will not be able to hit her out the air. Then she could just stomp you.
Ain't that some
crazy?
Shit?
It's crazy as hell.
I mean, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. I mean, jump in front of her then. I mean,
and that was another weird thing too about like Superman, like how almost none of his shit doesn't really have any kind of true advantage over other characters. Like we saw how last night we just did a big test with like Superman, and we played about a good I would say about 150 matches versus various characters. Superman's about the weakest dude in the game, man. As far as priority and stuff, he really is weak. He's pretty weak, man.
He's got an advancing, safe, A-frame attack string that launches, and if it's blocked, you can cancel in a breath for a frame trap.
You can grab him out of his light, medium, and his light, heavy. You just block two mediums, you can grab him out.
Why would you use that? Superman's not about that. Light. Okay, look, his 2-2-3, 1-1-2. Okay, his 2-2-3 and his 2-2 scoop.
Yeah.
Those are both fuzzy guardable, so it doesn't matter anyway. Superman is he's about his frame track, he's about his forward 2-3, he's about his zoning, he's about his dive bomb, one do a combo. 2-2-3 and 1-1-2 are 0.001 of Superman. If you're using that, then he's going to seem really bad. That's not what he's about, though. You're using the.
I like to see more Superman, though. Honestly,
he's top. He's definitely not the best character in the game, like some people.
If that was the case, nobody wouldn't be trying to play Deathstroke. I'll tell you that much.
He's not the best character in the game.
Less of Deathstroke.
I mean, he's definitely not broken. I got people are broken, and I hate that term.
He's not too broken. He's pretty average and everything else. But compared to other characters, man, they beat him out in a lot of shit.
He might be top 5. I mean, I would say he's pretty average, man. He might be top 5, man. Might be top. I mean, I wouldn't go that far now. I mean, he's ridiculously top. I mean, like, there's going to be a lot of stuff. I'm telling the community right now. Okay, Deathstroke, now to be overreacting. And again, I read Jeremiah's post, and I read Desi's post, and whatever. He's ridiculous. People are going to see that, quote-unquote, we told you so. And Jeremiah saying, LOL, he can just do this. God forbid a zoning character have an option when you try to come in. I mean, Christ, let's not have that. Let's have zoning characters have no options whatsoever.
I think Deathstroke is okay the way he is, man. I think he is the way. I mean, he's okay the way he is.
Yeah, I think he's good the way he is.
I think he's okay. Just got to learn how to beat the bullshit. Like with Doomsday, it's super easy to beat the bullshit with Doomsday.
People aren't even using reversals, man. Like
people don't. They just keep trying to jump.
A lot of people aren't even using a lot of the game's options. Like I don't think anybody even did the tutorial that are complaining. You know, like.
Well, the
tutorial for this game is extremely good.
Before I get too unclear, I do want to say that I'm not saying that Dizzy is wrong with Deathstroke. He's not ridiculously good. He obviously is. I mean, Dizzy is a smart player. And
this dude in the stream said it right. Wound Cowboy said it right. He does build meter like a motherfucker, though. Like, Deathstroke builds a lot of meter.
Well, Cowboy's another one, man.
That might be the only thing about meter game.
Dude, Cowboy, this guy complaining about Lex Luthor.
Paulo just said it best. Come on. GGA guys win tournaments outside of GGA all the time. Like 16-bit won NCR 2 years ago. Yeah. Come on. You know, these guys are the pros. And you can't discredit anything they say.
I mean, my point is, I guess Dizzy is a smart player and Deathstroke is very good. But broken, I don't want to hear that kind of nonsense. And also, Wild Cowboy's sitting there saying, how am I supposed to zone him? My man, there is nothing about Lex Luthor. There is nothing about Lex Luthor that screams zoner. No. Get off your Shang Tsung horse, brother. All right, man. This game is not what you're used to. Get off what you think you know in this game. I mean, there is no way I approach this game and say, well, since I know this particular style, I'm going to pick up this character here and play that style. I got to get this game and I was like, I don't know shit. I'm not going to assume a character is a zone or whatever. I'm just going to try all options. Just because the character has a projectile and gets some options from full screen does not make them a zoner. perhaps the fact that a character has a fast, untechable knockdown ends all their combos in untechable knockdown, and its character power is armor. None of that tells me, oh, and my fireball does 3%. None of that says, yeah, I'm going to zone this man, dog. I'm going to zone his character with these fucking 3% fireballs. I'm going to zone his ass. I'm going to armor up and zone from across the screen with 3%. None of that says anything to me. That tells me I'm going to knock somebody down. I'm going to throw a trap behind them so they can't go backwards. And then I'm going to armor up and do some dumb shit without them being able to go backwards. That's what that says to me. You know, some people maybe don't see it that way. So then, to sit there and say, but you say, well, this character's a zoner, and he can't zone this character, so this character's obviously broken because I lose 10-0 because I can't outzone him.
Yeah, Luthor's jumping 3 is just, that shit is no joke.
Yeah, he's not a zoner. He's not a zoner. So to sit here and get on the Nerf train when you're playing the character, you're not using your character the way they're meant to be used, is absolutely ridiculous. You're trying to outzone Deathstroke with a character that is not a zoner. And then you have the nerve to say, dog, it's 10-0. Get out of here. You know?
No, I mean, I think that the Deathstroke match, to really determine how you're going to do against Deathstroke, I would say the first 5 seconds of a match tells you, because if you get hit as Deathstroke, if you get hit by somebody, they're just going to stay on you. And they're going to stay on you, and they're going to cross you up. And that's one good way of getting rid of them. Like, with Doomsday, just the shoulder tackle is pretty good sometimes, or sometimes the elbow is really good because it's unblockable on the way down. And then the fact that for some reason Doomsday can do a super late jumping down in 3, like you can almost do it before you hit the ground, and it's damn near unblockable. You can then combo him, or like you can do. I mean, it's just so many things you can do to this guy. It's not really that hard.
I was reading comments of people saying, "Hey, I'm having a little bit of trouble getting in. Once I get in, the stuff I got, he's dead. He's dead." I'm reading people saying that. So what I'm reading is I'm having a little trouble getting in on Deathstroke, who's a zoner.
Yeah, that's that one
too. Once I get in, he's done. Once I get in, he's done. Well, here's what I mean when I say that. So you're already admitting that once you get in, he's done. So they should nerf him and make it easier for you to get in, so he should just be done all the time. And he's a zoner. It's supposed to be difficult to get in on a zoner.
Yeah, that sword slice is a bit out of control too sometimes. I mean, on a wake up, it pushes you completely back. Like on wake up, it hits you or pushes you down.
It does 6%, and it's full combo punished on block. Absolutely. So he should be able to get off.
Certain characters can't punish that thing. Like I can't.
Yes, everybody punishes it. Everybody punishes it.
You might want to do a video with that shit because that little sword slice is pretty
players need to start doing the right combos.
Doomsday you can just do the knee. You can do the fucking knee move and now just knock them out of it. But say characters like Hawk Girl can't really do it. Like Hawk Girl, you'll do it once, and when you try to punish it, they'll just do it again and hit you. Like Hawk Girl, I haven't seen. Nightwing has a little bit of trouble too sometimes getting it.
Hawk Girl can punish it as well. She can punish it. I mean, they can all punish the move. I mean, it's not out of control. I mean, the move it only does 6%. And he gets punished pretty heavily when it's blocked. I don't have a problem with that move. You know, I'm totally fine with that move.
I mean, like I said, overall, there are solutions. There really are, and every
character is going to have solutions. I mean,
can you imagine being a striker player? Look, the guy felt bad. I'm reading these guys. People are PMing me, and they're saying, "Huh, I was always a striker player," or some guy was like, "I was a Jade player." Somebody was a Baraka player, and they're like, "We finally have." We go to a character and we're like, this game is awesome. There's no bad characters. The character you pick is good. And the first thing we got to hear is, gotta go, dog. Gotta remove your dirt. Let me tell you what's going to happen. When you come to one person's dirt and you take their shit away, and then say you're like a Nightwing player or a Flash player, and say you're like a Flash player and you were in this coalition of, get rid of this shit now, get rid of it now, get rid of it now. And down the line, you start beating the bejesus out of these Deathstroke players because, you know, you found your dirt finally, and then you say, yeah, you know, now that I found my dirt, looking back on it, you probably should have kept that. You know, sorry, dog. You know what I would think?
They're not going to redo that shit.
You know what's going to happen? Those players are going to say, well, now you got to lose yours, man. Gotta go. It's not fair now. Now my character's getting beat. Gotta go.
See, this is what happened, all right, and this is to the whole MK community, and Guns Ablaze said it best. The MK9 community got spoiled with patches.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
rather than just
find a way around it yourself.
Earn
You're
it.
gonna have to find a way around it yourself. So just shut the fuck up and swallow it up. That's what you're gonna do. All right? I don't want to hear any tears. Just shut up and deal with it. All right? There are people, that's what you're gonna do.
Brady.
Period.
I just don't want to see Deathstroke get anything, because if they fuck with Deathstroke, they're gonna fuck with Sinestro. I really don't want them to fuck with Sinestro, because they're not just because NRS just doesn't do one character; they do every character that's like that character. So if Deathstroke gets looked at, then they're all going to get looked at, and I really don't feel like having to go through waking up and then seeing like shit not working because they secretly patched that shit last night or something.
I mean, look, let me ask you, if something ever comes out that's truly unfair, that's so broken that it makes the game unplayable, then I have my full confidence that the guys at NRS will take care of it. However, what I like is the sit back and look approach, and say, okay, before we do anything, let's make sure that it really truly is game breaking. If there's like a block infinite or infinite, I'm pretty sure that's going to come out. But if it's something like, oh, this is really hard to get around, it's like, well, let's see how hard it is to get around. Let's see if it's still as hard to get around 6 months from now. And then if that's the case, I'm sure it'll be addressed. But, I mean, a lot of things are going to be hard on day one to get around. There are things that I find hard to get around, right now. I mean, I don't know shit, to be honest with you, in this game. I mean, I don't really want to overreact to anything. If I'm getting beat by something, my first response, I don't know anything about it. So if I don't know anything about it, I damn sure can't comment on how hard it is or is not to get around.
Let me ask you this: if anything was to change, would you agree with this? The damage percentage of Interactables, knock it down a little bit.
The damage percentage at one time was doing 3 to 10%, and they got buffed at the last second.
So I would rather see a 3 to 10.
I'm up in the air about Interactables. I don't know.
I mean, I'm hearing people already saying, "Oh, they're gonna turn them off," and I'm like, it's like turning off X Factor in Marvel.
But some of those do a lot of damage, though.
Yeah, they do. I don't really turning them off right now. It's not one of those things of we don't have enough information other than the competitive play. I mean, how unfair are they really? I mean, we don't know. I mean, I just don't like these knee-jerk reactions. Speaking when you're a prisoner of the moment, when you're upset about something, when you feel like you've been cheated or whatever, it's always the worst time to make a decision. So.
I mean, like I said, I would leave it in. If any change, that would be the only change that I would do is knock down the percentage damage of the Interactables. That's the
only one that maybe, but also maybe Cyborg thing. I mean, if it can be done consistently to where 19 characters are being blocked from across the screen, then obviously I would change that as well. And I would, that I could see being changed. But other than that, right now I haven't seen anything that's like, oh, it's got to go. I don't know. I mean, to me, like I said, NRS, obviously, if it's something that is truly unfair, it will be addressed. But I don't feel like just because something is hard initially to get around, that should be whatever. I kind of think they have that whole, let's sit back and let's see, what. And I don't like the approach the community has about nerfs. I mean, I want this community to remember, when you start nerfing stuff, you always miss something. I mean, look at MK9. Everybody cried about all these characters. The characters that didn't get cried about were Cabal and Kenji. Well, after the community's demands, so to speak, were met, then there were 2 characters left, and then they start saying, well, no, now you got to come for these guys. And it's like, it came out to, hey, man, you guys didn't complain about them when there was time to complain about them. Whenever you scream for nerfs, you're always going to miss something. And whatever you miss, you're not going to have the tools to fight it anymore.
Oh, no.
Now, the people say now in MK9, in hindsight, well, I guess some of these characters should have kept their dirt. You guess some of these characters should have kept their dirt. Really? I mean, so It's the same thing in this game. I mean, whenever you start screaming for nerfs, realize you're going to miss something. And then whatever you miss is going to kill you for the rest of the game. You know, and then you're going to be sitting there saying, "This, you know, wow. I mean, I didn't like that."
I would say the only issue, the only issue with the interactables is even as I use power characters, they might just want to scale the damage down a little bit because taking away damn near 30% life off of somebody just by hucking a fucking TV at them is kind of out of time, especially when they're already doing shit. At the same time, there are ways
around that kind of stuff. Well, it was the same thing for me too. But the interactables
does a lot of damage, man.
Well, the interactables that go distance, they go to where you are. So basically, people when the guy jumps up and first grabs the TV, people automatically jump. Problem is the TV has not been thrown yet, so that you have committed way early. When the TV gets thrown, the TV gets thrown, and it's going to get thrown to the spot you're on. If you wait till move or jump until after the TV is thrown, it's much easier to get around because the TV is going to go to the spot you were, not the spot you are. Also, if you're closer, you can air-to-air somebody right out of the interactable, and air-to-air damage, unlike MK9, does not scale in this game.
But man, also, it hits hard as shit, man. If you catch somebody air-to-air, it's like a lot of damage.
Yeah. Also, I'll meter burn, if I'm close enough, I'll also meter burn back 3 somebody out of it. There are things you can do whether you're close or far. And just because people are not used to it right now, it doesn't mean to get rid of it. I mean, how do we know that people are not going to find... Like, give people a chance. That's my only opinion. Give people a chance to find ways around stuff. I mean, they are trying.
See, now, look. Hector just said, if you hit me with a TV, it would hurt a lot. It would, but I took that motherfucking Superman pill, so it ain't going to hurt that much.
I mean,
the damage should be a little less.
A little less.
Yeah, I mean, that's a shitload of damage, man, coming off the interactables.
But we don't know. Hold on, it's a shitload of damage, my man. I was just playing Rio tonight, and he tried to, I think, throw something at me. I hit him with a meter burn back 3 out of the interactable into a 50% combo. So let me get this straight. That 20% that he was going to actually was 16 or 18% he was going to affect on me.
But if you play in Arkham, match starts. First TV hits you. That's 25. It's fucking 25 and like a free meter for me. Then of course, you're going to back up and do whatever. Second TV hits you. You can kill someone. You can kill someone's first life bar.
What if you're fighting Aquaman?
You get hit with 4 of them, you're done.
What if you're fighting Aquaman and you go for that TV and you get air-to-air right out of it and lose 43%?
What about that peak, though?
Well, then if that's the case, if interactables get scaled down...
scaled down a little bit. Not too much, but a little bit.
Let's make it fair, then. If you go for an interactable and you get hit, you should lose. The damage should be scaled. So if I'm going to take 43% from you, I should only take 15% because it's only fair that the interactable damage is scaled.
When you get hit while trying to do an interactable, it does hurt a lot. I mean, because most of the time you will get combo because it explodes.
Wouldn't it be fair? Wouldn't it be fair then if the interactable gets reduced? That's being punished for trying to use the reduced interactable be reduced? Isn't that fair? Nobody wants to reduce that. The community, they want to reduce the interactables, but don't want to reduce the damage you eat for going for the interactables. They say, fuck you, bitch.
And if you take damage for getting it, you take damage for getting it. That will prevent people from
You're actually doing. You're shutting that TV smash down, so therefore you're earning that. But by me just tossing a TV across the screen,
does damage too. The TV smash does damage, But I mean, you can really damage somebody for going with an interactable. I mean, the people get punished for that. What's the big deal?
I mean, like I said, man, the interactables are a great part of the game, and I really do enjoy it. I do.
Especially
Exactly. I like as power characters, I can just stop you from using something over and over again by just tearing it off and hitting you over the head with it. That shit is kind of cool. But when I could take 4 of those and take out your fucking meter, that's a problem. 4 of those will do 4 hits.
Why is that a problem? You realize you have options. The interactables at neutral are not guaranteed at neutral. You realize that, right? But at neutral, they're not guaranteed.
You'll say that, and then I'll play the game. Like literally, I'll play the game while I'm talking to you. and that shit will not matter because I will hit someone with a fucking TV four times and still kill them. And even when they
yes or no? Do we not agree that at neutral, interactables are not guaranteed?
Yeah, they're not guaranteed.
They're not guaranteed.
Okay, so let me ask you something that you have options against. You should, if you have, the only time interactables are guaranteed are certain knockdowns if the interactable's around. That's fine. Hey, I got that knockdown, dog. Just don't get fucking hit then. You know, be more aware of where the fuck you are. Now, the satellite stage, that I can say is kind of BS because you could get the satellite stage, the watchtower stage where the satellite
and
the little mini satellite.
And Arkham.
What's wrong with
Arkham is really fucking small. If you grab the TV, you cannot walk that far back. You will not miss. It will hit you. It will hit you.
Let me tell you something, my man. If you're close, you can get blown up for using your TV, and if I'm far, I'm going to avoid it. If you wait until they throw the TV...
You can hold the button and he'll arc it directly downward. It depends on when you release it. If you grab it and hold it, if you jump up, I will catch you air to air. If you try to go under, the guy will just throw it directly down, and then you'll get caught by the blast.
You can air to air them out of it.
It's very hard to do.
It's hard to air them out of it? How about this? Well, let's try meter burning. How about this? Is it hard to meter burn back to read them out of it? Is that hard? That seems pretty easy to me.
Who's back three, though? Who's back three? Aquaman's? Nightwing's?
Aquaman.
Batman?
It's all about Aquaman.
Batman's not reaching. You back three, but you back three. Batman's not reaching. He'll just hop.
You can dash. You do realize that there's no autoface even on the interactable. So if you dash under and past them, they're not going to interact with you.
Then this is what you do, Tom. I'll be up all night. If you got PS3, I will show you. You'll pick every character. I'll go to Arkham and let's see if you can back three. As soon as I hop up and grab that TV, let's see how many back threes you get.
I will meter burn back.
How many back threes will you get?
Aquaman, everyone.
You won't reach.
Aquaman will reach. I will smash you in the face with Aquaman every fucking time you do it.
Exactly. Volkev said it just right. 0. Because when it says match start and I jump back,
here's what this guy is saying.
Catch a TV to the face, man.
How are you going to sit there and say, how are you going to tell me, Tom, I want you to stop what I'm doing? Oh, now that you did it with your main character, pick a character you don't play and stop me from doing it. What the fuck kind of comment is that?
Tom, you said that's the general defense versus this tactic. It's not. You will have to jump and get hit.
I can't air it? Is that what you're telling me? You can't air that.
See, now Cheech said, now this is where I play devil's advocate, and Cheech is right with this. The interactables are pretty much the only comeback factor that a player has.
It is.
And that portion of it I do like. Yes. You know, I could be getting smashed by his Aquaman, drop a couple of TVs and shoot some acid in his face, and all of a sudden, and I'm back in the game.
But they're not really a comeback factor because they're in set places. So, like, that's
okay. Well, here's what I'm telling you. Here's what I'm telling you. You're mistaken. They're not what you're making them out to be. That you are mistaken. There are things, in my experience, obviously people can find for 3 or 4 days. This is not one of them. They are, with more experience, you'll find that sometimes they're a pain in the ass, but people, you can position yourself to blow them up constantly. I mean, people can be blown up for trying to use the interactable. And when they're blown up for trying to use the interactable, they're blown up for a lot more damage than that interactable would have caused. I mean, that's the truth. I mean, and especially if you try, imagine you try to, now the mix-up comes in when you go to meter burn the interactable. That's the mix-up, because then the air-to-air will not hit, and they're going to get blasted. When they're going to meter burn the interactable, then you have to basically try to dash completely under them and be out of the collision, and then punish them. And then punish them for using bar meter. There are different ways to get around stuff based on exactly what they're doing to the interactable. I mean, so it all just comes down to it. And it depends where you are on the screen. If you're too far, you obviously have to avoid it. If you're close enough, you obviously have to air-to-air to or meter burn back three to matter. Obviously, if they have, sometimes if they're meter burning theirs, sometimes you have to time your meter burn back three properly so you hit them after their meter burns expired, or you can meter burn dash cancel. Yes, you're going to absorb the hit, but then you're going to full combo punish them. You're going to take them like 40-50% when they hit the ground. I mean, so there are different ways around them. Don't tell me that you can't throw a TV And I cannot meter burn dash cancel through it every single time. I can. Yes, I'll eat the damage, but then you're going to eat the damage too. And I think so there are ways around it. There are ways. So yeah, huh?
And you can backdash it. I mean,
you can back it. So my point is, I have options to inflict damage too. The only time the interactables get a little crazy are when you're on the watchtower stage, and there's no interactable there. You get knocked down. You're not defending your position because there's no interactable there. You get knocked down, and then right as you're knocked down, it's an untakeable knockdown. A little satellite flies across the screen. You got to eat that, and it's like, come on, man. The thing wasn't even there. I mean, I'm defending a position where it's not even there yet. I don't even know when it's going to come there. So that stage I could see